3 right at the moment.
Audience of 3, I love it.
On the interweb.
This is manifesto kind of like climate right now. I love it. I'm just gonna start to speak in tongues. I love it. Utica Brews, turn it up. Let's get crazy. Woo! I had one of those weeks at work where I kind of just am contemplating becoming a drug dealer. Am I the only one who has those? I just have fantasies of just an alternative lifestyle. I'm just like, it's like I feel like I could do Breaking Bad. I've watched enough episodes. It's like, how hard is it? How hard is it to make crystal meth? I mean, really, like I don't have much of a social circle, so I don't have to worry about, you know, people like ratting me out or anything like that. So, has anyone got a real job here? Yeah. Make some noise for your real job. Yeah. Woo! What do you do, sir? Mailman. You're a mailman? That's awesome.
That's a manly man kind of thing?
That's actually like that's a pretty legit job. Like,
most men are male.
It's you get to spend all day outside, you wear those sexy shorts. I write cars. Yeah, it's that fun. My life's that exciting. I get to deal with people who get in car accidents and get to and wreck other people's cars and have to deal with it. Does anyone ever feel like that, like their job is slowly making them racist? I felt like that for some time now, and like it's starting to like impact how I feel about people by and large. I don't like to make assumptions of people, but like I just paint like very stereotypical backstories of people as they're walking in. Like it's usually like someone who walks in with like work boots and sweatpants. It's just like the possibilities are just endless. Like I wonder what he does for a living. Like it's just like it can't be like anything like really interesting. I don't think it's anything really. But yeah, it's growing up. It's been awesome. I wish people had told me just what a scam it was, just how much just more disappointment you're in. I just turned 26 recently, and my father was, I mean, yeah, you know, it's 26 whatever, but it's just like, I'm getting to the point now where it's just like you're out of that youthful stage and your body's just slowly starting to break down on you. Like, it's just like I actually have to stretch now before I go to the gym. Like, it's just, I never had to do that before. Like I actually have to like watch what I eat finally. Like it's just like I can't like eat a whole like cheesecake. I can't eat cheesecakes in halves anymore. Like it's awful. Like I wish I could have that. You know, it's just you know you gotta adjust. You know. I feel like I'm just gonna start just like spewing just random, just like horrible, just irrational things.
Go for it.
Yeah, right? It's like, yeah, how bad could it be? I grew up in a bar, which is like a catch-22, I guess, or like a blessing in disguise. My parents owned like a dive bar up in the middle of nowhere, and it was kind of cool. I was by default the most popular kid in high school because everyone knew that I was the guy that you could get alcohol from. Like, it was just like, everyone was like, yeah, let's invite Fish, because, you know, he's got access to liquor. You learn a lot of like just real life. You learn a lot of like real lessons in life. Living in a bar, especially at a young age, it kind of just like alters like your viewpoint. I learned from one patron to never borrow against your house to pay for your wife's tits. That was a very interesting conversation to have. Learned how to make a lot of drinks. You know, it was I was the 12-year-old essentially passing along bar tips to, you know, just my friends in class. You know, it's just, you know, stuff you could use later in life. It's just you can thank me later. You know. The one thing I did like about working at the bar, especially where I came from a small town, is that there weren't very many places to drink, so you would see your teachers a lot, which was like awesome. It was like the greatest feeling on the planet of just watching your English teacher get wasted the night before, and just knowing that he was going to feel totally hungover and taking advantage of it every day in class. And just being loud and obnoxious and boisterous on purpose, because you know he just can't handle it. I made my Spanish teacher cry one time in class because I knew she went out the night before. My parents had a karaoke night, and you know, she out partying, drinking, have a good time, like, you know, like she's entitled to do, but as like I am entitled to do, I am entitled to make your life a living hell the next day, especially if you hate Spanish class. So, comes into the classroom late, and I just screaming yelling at the top of my lungs, asking questions, being just over the top, just, you know, just unnecessarily just loud in me, and she finally, and it was just like, she got to the point where she was kind of getting snarky with me, and I was finally getting snarky with her, and then I finally she threatened to send me to the principal's office, and, oh my God, I just blanked out on this story. Oh my goodness. Woo! Yeah, woo! Oh, man, but I had there was a patron at the bar that was actually one of my parents' next door neighbors. We called him Ducky. Just a name we picked up. He was just a lovable drunk kind of guy. When my parents would leave us there up late at night, he was essentially like our supervisor. Like, he was essentially like daycare. And I remember one summer, my brother and I had the bright idea to play with gasoline. And we set the lawn on fire, and this is a true story, folks. And so we set the lawn on fire, and in a panicked fervor, he helped us put it out, and then proceeded to take me and my brother down to the restaurant, the bar, to essentially drop us off, and have us explain to my parents what we did. And so he takes us to the bar. He leaves us and. Tell your parents what you did. And we were like, we set the lawn on fire. And they go, well, what the hell did you do that for? And it was just like, we pointed at him, and it was like, it was his idea. Totally deflecting blame. Obviously it wasn't true. And so it was, so my parents, decided, hook him up with a couple of beers, and then we went back home there later that night, and he, like I said, he was sitting out back by his fire drinking his beers. I feel like it's something you only do like in the middle of nowhere. I feel like if I was telling this story in New York City, they would just be like, you have fires outside? Like, what? Like, don't you need like a building permit? Doesn't the fire department come? Anyway, so he gets back, we're back hanging out at the house, and the only thing an adult would do when he's surrounded by children is just to continue to drink. And he continued to drink and continued to drink. We kept driving him nuts, kept playing with fire, as kids do, my brother and I. Hours pass along. He is just slamming beers. Finally, he tells us, go get off my lawn, go to your house. And so we do, and then just a couple minutes go by, and we don't really have much in the way of an attention span, so we decided to go back outside, just assuming that he was out there. We go out to his lawn, no one there. Call his name, lights are still on in his house, don't see anyone. So we keep calling his name. We hear someone in the faint bushes just going. We just hear him say something inaudible out of from the bushes. So we go to assist him. Apparently, he had had too much to drink, and he followed the wrong lights to potentially back to his house. He got distracted by his lawn lights, like his lights in his garden, and wandered over that way drunk and had fallen down in his garden patch. And my brother and I did the responsible thing and left him a pillow and a blanket and left him outside there for the rest of the night. So,
done that.
Absolutely. Have you been the guy have you been the guy in the bushes, or have you given the pillow and the blanket?
Gave him the pillow and blanket.
Oh, fair enough. So I've been both. So
yeah,
I've been both. So it was kind of it was a monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. So let me see. What else I got here? I got time for just one more quick story. So essentially, me and my alcohol ways. Who's had a really bad night on alcohol? Who's on alcohol? It's like some narcotic. Woo! Yeah, make some noise. Yeah.
Most,
if not all of us have. I feel like there's just a lot of lessons you learn really quickly. I was a senior in high school party. Everyone got together. My friends were all partying, drinking, having a good time. My buddy had a bottle of Bacardi 151, and if you haven't had Bacardi, yeah, exactly. I think he's done. I think he knows where this is going.
No.
No. Stop me if this sounds familiar. So.
Why are you talking about me?
Yes, you might have been there. So my friends gave me this bottle of Bacardi 151. Spoiler alert, if none of you have ever had it, it's basically just like, it's paint thinner. Like, yeah, it's just, my friend hands me this bottle of Bacardi 151 and he's just like, Fish, I don't think you can drink this whole thing. And like the typical guy, I was like, I'll do you one better. I'll drink that whole bottle of Bacardi drink that whole bottle, and then I'll drink this beer in my hand too. So I drink the whole bottle of Bacardi 151, hand it to my friend on the right side of me, and then I proceed to drink the rest of my beer, slam that, and hand it to my friend on the left side of me. And like, I mean, as if I couldn't have planned it any perfectly, I proceeded to pass out drunk and fell face first onto a pile of rocks. And that's all I remember.
And woke up in the hospital.
No, sir. I live in the middle of nowhere. Where we come from, you ride it out.
Oh, you
Nicely put.
I woke up the next morning. To make this story even more interesting, my grandfather's funeral was the next day.
Oh.
I wake up, I brush myself off, like the tough son of a, like the wannabe tough man that I am, and proceed to make my way back to my family's house to get ready for the funeral. I sneak in the back door, I jump in the shower, this, that, and the other thing. My face is just throbbing. And so I get out of the shower, I head into the kitchen. My mother looks at me and she goes, good morning. She goes back to doing the dishes and she looks up and goes, what the hell happened to your face? I don't know. What are you like? I have no. It's just like I don't know. Whatever. And she goes, have you seen yourself in the mirror lately? And I go, no. And so she takes me in the mirror. I basically look like Two-Face from Batman. It really was like my left side of my face looked fantastic. My right side of the face, it looked like rocks just cut up my entire right side of my face. She is infuriated with me. It just to the point where she goes, you need to go to your father. So I go to see my father, and he's getting ready for the funeral, and he goes, what happened? What's going on? And as he turned around, he sees my face. He gives me that stoic look. I'm kind of like fearing and resenting judgment. And he goes, well, what do you have to say? And I was kind of just quiet. And he just kind of looks at me and goes, well, I'll look at it this way. At least you would have made your grandfather proud. Get yourself ready for the funeral. Let's get going, son. So, all right, that's my time. I'm done. So thanks, guys.